Okay. Hello, greetings, welcome, salutations, yogis. We're getting started in about 10 minutes. I'm just getting the stream going. So if you are watching this after the fact, go ahead and skip to about 10 minutes in. That's where we will be starting. Yep, hang out, get ready, throw a mat down, grab some water, grab a towel, whatever. I'm gonna hang out for the next few minutes and then we'll get started in about 10 minutes. Hi, friend. Okay. Um, Greetings, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, good evening, I don't know. We're getting started in about 5 minutes or so. If we don't know each other, my name is Anna MC. I'm going to be guiding you through a flow today with a focus on our hamstrings. So, heads up on that. If you want some jams for your practice today, I did post a Fresh AF playlist I made just for you on my Instagram story. So you can find me on Instagram at the.anna.mc. Peep my story. It's the most recent playlist I posted for you called BSY Still Groovin'. So if you want to cue that up, feel free to cue that up, throw it on in the background. Like I said, still have a few minutes, so start to get settled in. Grab a towel maybe, grab your water. That's all I got for you. Okay, hello, welcome, greetings, good afternoon, all of the salutations. Welcome, yogis, to flow. That's where I'm at today. We're going to flow today. If we don't know each other, my name is Anna MC. Here to guide you through a flow focused on our hamstrings. We focus a lot on hamstring flexibility in our yoga practice, but oftentimes forget to strengthen the hamstrings as well. So we're going to add in a little bit of just hammy conditioning today. We'll talk a lot about kind of how we get to the places we want to be as far as hamstring flexibility goes. So that's what you're in for. Maybe grab a couple of blocks or books if you know that you have very tight hamstrings or very tight low back. We're getting started in just a couple minutes. If you want some music for practice, head on over to my Instagram story. I posted a playlist for you today. It's called BSY Still Groovin'. So feel free to cue that up in the background. Oh yeah, also if you're able to, please consider donating to our teacher support fund. You can find that link at blackswanyoga.com/live. Those donations are supporting all of your teachers who are still working hard to flow with you. So if you're able to, please donate. If you're not, don't even worry about it. We're going to start on our backs in just a moment. So yeah, let's see. Yep, it's about that time. I think that's all I really got for you. We're going to start on our backs in Supta Baddha Konasana. What is that? That's on the back, soles of the feet together and knees wide like a butterfly. If you try it out and it's not happening, start somewhere else on your back instead. Fallen bridge, Shavasana, whatever. Yeah, that's basically it. Go ahead, if you did cue that playlist up, just press play. All right, settling in. Supta Baddha Konasana, or otherwise, find something intentional to do with your hands. If you want a slight shoulder opener, you can bring them overhead. I'm going to place mine on my hip creases today to establish a little bit of connection to myself. Close your eyes and allow yourself to be still. In this stillness, drop into the rhythm of your breath. Try not to change it. Try not to judge it. Just notice it for how it is. Is it already full and steady? Or is it short and shallow? Can you feel that little rise and fall of your chest or belly? And from here, just take a little scan. Make an effort to release any unnecessary tension. Start small by releasing the eyebrow, unclenching your jaw, relax your shoulders and thighs. Now let's start to play with the breath a little bit. Try to send your breath down to the lowest point in your belly. Take a few breaths, just focusing on low belly. Notice how that expands those muscles. Good. Now fill up the low belly and the rib cage. Good. Now we do the low belly, the rib cage, and the chest. Full breaths. Let exhales be equal to your inhales. Good. Let's take a big breath in. Open mouth release. Now as we move today, I want to encourage you to allow your breath to remain full and steady. Let it be your driving force. Just come back to it as you move. Before we get going, maybe you take this opportunity here to set an intention for practice. This can be purely physical, can be emotional or spiritual. Anything that comes to mind as to why you showed up on your mat today. Just invite that thing in and sit with it for a moment. Take a big breath in, big breath out. Next exhale, take your hands down to your sides. Use them to just draw your knees closed like a book. Then take the knees into the chest. Give a little squeeze, maybe an easy rock left and right. You can always invite some circles into the ankles, knees, or hips here as well. Just starting to get moving a little bit, massaging the low back. Good. And then from here, keep your knees drawn in. Take your arms out to either a cactus or a capital T shape. And then let your knees drop over to the left. I like to take my left hip a little bit more underneath my body. Look over the right shoulder for an easy supine twist. And focus your breath to the low point in your belly and, more importantly, your low back. So when we talk about our hamstrings, right, there's a lot of correlation between hamstring tightness and low back tightness. So we're just taking this little effort early on to start to release the low back and to just check in and notice kind of how much tension is there today. I'm working with a little bit of a tweak in my low back. It happened all week. So you'll see me probably modifying a little bit or pulling out of shapes. Just doing our best from day to day. Making space for things to be different. Stay here for a breath. Good. And Inhale to come through center. And then exhale, knees to the right, look to the left. The left shoulder stays grounded. The twist is coming from our lower half. So you concentrate breath to the low belly and low back. Full breath cycle. Good. Inhale to draw through center. Give a little squeeze. Press the small of your back down into the mat. And then we're going to release the heels to plant near the butt, palms face down to the sides. All 10 toes pointing forward, feet about inner hip distance apart. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath the body. So prepping for our bridge pose, let's think about how we get there. Today we're going to focus a lot on bringing intention into our movement. So for bridge, we know that our hips are going to drive up, but how do we get there? It's all about the pelvis, right? Okay, what muscles control the pelvis? The low abdomen. So let's start by tucking the tailbone, right? Press the small of your back into the ground. Notice how that creates a pelvic tilt and engages the low belly. From there, we start to roll the pelvis up one vertebrae at a time. Pausing here, spread through your toes, press through all three corners of your feet. Keep pressing the thigh bones up as you breathe into the front line of the body. Keep your gaze directly above you to maintain a neutral and safe spine. Good. Notice how the glutes maybe start to burn here. Take an inhale. And then with just as much intention, vertebrae by vertebrae, we lower back down. We want the tailbone to be the last thing to touch the ground. Good. Now we're going to cycle through some glute bridges just on the breath. Inhaling to slowly lift up and exhaling to slowly lower down. Let's do that. Exhale all your air. Tuck the tail. Inhale, drive the hips up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep this going, slow and steady. Three more. Inhale up. Hold here. Big inhale. Exhale, slowly lower back down. Good. Take a breath in, breath out. Now from here, we're going to float that right leg, flexing the heel up toward the ceiling. I usually take my left foot a little further out from me. For here, working on a one-legged bridge now. So with that foot flex, the inhale is going to lift up, and the exhale is going to lower the pelvis down. Inhale up, exhale down. A few more times. So this is, for me, irritating that little tweak I have on my right side. So I'm going to opt out of doing it on this right side today. Giving myself permission again to kind of be nice to my body. I want you to do 3 more. Lifting that right leg up and down. We'll meet back in just this neutral position with both feet on the floor. Good. Then we'll lift the left leg up, flexing the heel. Again, I like to take my base foot a little further out for these one-legged bridges. Inhale, lift that heel up toward the ceiling. Exhale, lower the pelvis. Inhale up. Exhale down. more. And lower back down, take both feet to the mat. Good. Now let's just take one more bridge pose, lifting both hips up. Stay for a breath out. Hold for the inhale. And lower back down on the exhale. Beautiful. Take your knees into your chest. Give a little squeeze. Start to rock and roll forward and backward. You can put your hands around the backs of your thighs or the fronts of your shins. If you're craving a little bit of work today, feel free to pause in a high boat pose and take a few breaths there. We're going to meet in a tabletop position. Take your time. Wrists come under shoulders, knees come under hips. Maybe you wipe all the dirt off your mat. Good. So, neutral. Keep in mind that requires a little bit of effort, right? Notice if you're kind of here with the sway back and a disengaged low belly, just draw that low belly in to create a flat back and a supported spine. Soften through the elbows. You know we're going to warm up with some cat-cows. Inhale, belly drops, look up. Exhale, press, curl, round. Again, inhale, belly drops. Exhale, lead with the pelvis, navel draws in, round up the spine, chin tucks. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Friends, I want you to cycle through this a few more times on your breath. Feeling free to take any variations that you crave. I like some circles here. I like to take some wrist variations. So just a few breaths to drop in with where you are today. Don't think too hard about it. Just try some stuff out, right? Find some natural movement. Maybe that's a press forward and backward. Maybe you go side to side. You have a breath cycle. Good. Come back to neutral here. Just step that right foot to the back of the mat, landing into the ball of the foot. Press the heel back. You can hold right here, stretching the calf, or you can find a little shift forward and backward. I often forget about my poor little calves. So it's nice to bring a little bit of attention there, right? And then we come back to neutral, step the left foot back, pressing through that heel. Again, option to rock forward and backward, or just hold. Good. And come back to neutral. So, doing just a couple more little drills to kind of build up some strength today. From our tabletop, we're going to work with a fire hydrant. So starting with the right foot, tuck your right toes, right? Still find that sweet little core engagement. We're just going to open that leg out to the right with the foot flexed. And then we'll draw it back in, keep it hovered. Open up, draw it up, and in. Just like a dog doing you know what on a fire hydrant. Flexing it out. Take a few more. Good. Now from here, we're going to come back to neutral. Keep that heel flexed. Start to kick your right heel up toward the ceiling. So notice that nice 90-degree bend there. And then we're just going to find a little lift up of that heel toward the sky. Pulsing up. Good. A couple breaths. And come back through center. Take one cat-cow here. Inhale, belly drops. Exhale, round. And we switch sides. Tuck those left toes, and then start with your fire hydrants, opening out to the left, and then drawing back in. To the left, and in. Keep that knee hovered. Out, and in. My left side is super spicy. It usually is. I have a little bit of a discrepancy there. My left side's a little bit weaker and a little bit tighter than my right, and I know that that's just something that I have to work with, right? Good. A couple more. And we come back through center. From here, we're going to flex those toes, float the heel up toward the ceiling, find that 90-degree bend, keep the low belly softly engaged, and then kick up. Little pulses. It's super easy in our yoga practice to really focus on hamstring flexibility, but we often forget to strengthen them. So today, we're just doing a few little drills to tap into that area and to add a little bit of strengthening into our practice. Keep pulsing up. 4, 3, 2, and come through center. Next, inhale, belly drops. Exhale, round. Beautiful. Come to a neutral tabletop, tuck your toes, and exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a few beats in your down dog. It's the first one to practice, so pedal it out. Bending the knees. Notice how close your heels are to the ground naturally today. Maybe they're a little closer or further than they were yesterday or the day before. And then as you play, just make sure your fingers are spreading wide. You're pressing through the fingertips. Shoulders slide down the back. Navel pulls upward to lift the pelvis. Good. Find stillness here. Let's lift those heels high off the mat. Gentle bend in the knees. Look between your hands. Then just take some tiptoe steps to the top of your mat. We'll meet in a Ragdoll Pose. Feet meet the hands. Bend your knees a lot. Head hangs heavy. Maybe you grab opposite elbows. I'm going to give you a few breaths here. Good. Really just do what you need to do here. Maybe that's a little pedal out, a little twist. Don't worry, we will get going in just a little bit. But I really want to focus on bringing some intention into how we're moving today and why we do what we do. Good. Hold here. Find stillness. Keep your knees bent slowly on an inhale. Roll to standing, vertebrae by vertebrae. When you arrive, shoulders come up to the ears, down the back, palms forward for your mountain pose. Just on my feet about hip distance apart. I'm going to soften through the knees, spreading and ripping through my feet. Navel drawing in, shoulders pinching back, palms pressing forward. On an inhale, take your arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Shoulders slide down the back, navel stays drawing in. On the exhale, just take your hands to heart center. Let's take the hands to the hips today. So, forward fold, right? Everyone wants to have straight legs in a forward fold. But we don't get straight legs without allowing them to first be bent. Why? Our hamstrings, where are they? They're on the backs of our legs, right? Which means they connect to what? Our sit bone, which is part of what? Our pelvis. That's where our hands are right now. So whenever we're coming to a forward fold, especially if you're aiming for more flexibility, we have to think about the pelvis and what it's doing. The muscles in the low belly help control the pelvis, right? So from standing, as we start to hinge forward, draw the navel upward. Yeah, bend the knees. And then allow the torso to fold down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Forcing your legs straight is not going to give you more hamstring flexibility, right? The sit bones have to go up toward the ceiling. For the sit bones to go up toward the ceiling, I have to be able to tilt my pelvis. I can't tilt my pelvis if I'm forcing my legs straight and hanging out here, right? So it takes time to get there. Now, for a halfway lift, keep the knees softly bent. So again, we're not forcing the legs straight. It gives the hamstrings time to gradually straighten out. Inhale, half lift. Knees still bent. Navel draws in first, then we lengthen the spine, shoulders slide and pinch down the back. Fingertips can root into the mat or your shins. On the exhale, high plank. Plant your hands, step back 1 foot at a time. Look forward, chin away from chest. press your heels back, slide the shoulders down the back. Let's take 3 big breaths. Good. Inhale, little shift forward, come to your knees. On the exhale, keep looking forward as you lower to the mat, elbows squeeze the ribs, toes untuck. Let's find a baby cobra on the inhale. Peel your heart up, squeeze your elbows to your ribs, press the tops of your feet into the mat, and firm up your thighs so that your kneecaps lift. And then exhale to release down. Tuck your toes, high plank. Inhale, you can transition through your knees. Down dog, exhale, hips go up and back. All right, let's start to build up a little series here. From down dog, inhale your right leg up. Look at your right foot and make sure all 5 toes are flexing toward the earth. So this is ensuring an engaged hamstring. Lift that leg just a little bit higher. Notice how the glute starts to work. Take an inhale here. Exhale, knee to nose. Roll forward, shoulders over wrists. Pause here. Notice how the belly starts to burn. Look down and out. And plant your foot between your hands. Drop your left knee to the mat, untuck your toes. On the inhale, take both arms up, Anjaneyasana. If you know me, you know what I'm going to tell you to do here. Knit the ribs and hips closer together and then press the left hip forward, bringing a little more intention into this stretch, right? So we're not just splaying open here, we're engaging and then stretching. Take a few breaths. Option to take a twist or a side bend here if that's calling to you. Maybe a gentle back bend. Make the practice yours. Good, hold for an inhale. And exhale, half split. Plant your hands to frame your foot. Straighten your right leg out. Toes flexing up toward the face here. Good, now, this is where those blocks or books or whatever might come in handy. If you have tight hammies, tight low back, you might not be able to reach the floor. You always have the option to bend the knee. Good. And then work with the breath. So think about how we fold, right? Where does it come from? It comes from here, right? The navel still pulls in, we lengthen the spine, and then we fold down over that leg. Good. Full breath cycle here. Next, inhale, let's find a low lunge. Bend into your right knee. Tuck your left toes, lift your left knee up. Wrap that right hip back to activate the glute and square the pelvis. Take a little bit of a bend into that left knee to find a spring in your step. And then we inhale to a standing split. Press off and float your left leg. Torso folds over the right leg. Keep that right knee softly bent. Flex all 5 toes down. And then what? Draw that navel up and in. Notice how that took some weight off of your right hip. Good. Find a little pulse of your left heel up toward the ceiling. Just a little pulse. Good. Pulsing 4, 3, 2, and then on your exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees as your left foot steps through to meet your right. With the knees still softly bent. Half lift, inhale, navel in, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Big toes touch, heels an inch apart. If you're working with low back issues, try keeping a little bit of space between your feet. Then let's inhale up to our chair pose. So if your thighs are touching, they're squeezing together. We want to think again about the pelvis. We want a neutral pelvis instead of a tilted pelvis toward the floor, right? So we draw the ribs and hips closer together to find the hip points pointing forward. Weight is in the heels. Let's take 3 big breaths. Hold for the inhale. On the exhale, forward fold, belly in, pelvis tilts, knees bend. Half lift, inhale, try not to lock the knees. Exhale, plant it, step it back. Look forward, chin away from chest, knees down. Exhale to lower to the mat. This time, we're going to take our hands out wide, coming to our fingertips, elbows coming above the wrists, up toward the ceiling. Firm up the thighs, and then inhale, to peel the heart up. Good. Notice how that starts to work the abs just a little bit more here. Thighs are still firming. And exhale, release down. Hands come under the chest. Press up on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Let's take this on our left side. Left leg goes up on the inhale. All 5 toes flex down. Look at your foot. Is your pinky toe down? Cool. Lift it just a little bit higher. Notice how that engages. Stay here for the inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Squeeze. Hold it. Look down and out. And plant your foot between your hands. Right knee drops. Toes on top. Arms up. Inhale. Breathe here. Close it up. Then press it forward. If arms up is too much on your shoulders, hands to the heart. Option to take a twist, a back bend, a side bend. You showed up for you today. You know where your body's at. Take what you need. Good. Inhale. Exhale, hands down. Straighten your left leg out. Hips stack over the right knee, not sit on the right heel. This side could be significantly different. So listen to it and breathe through it. The inhales pull the navel in, lengthen up the spine. And then the exhales fold. You can always bring your fingers to an item of support. Good. Full breath cycle. Now this time let's inhale all the way to that standing split. So we're going to crawl through that low lunge, that place of engagement, bend the knee, and then inhale to press off and float. Keep your left knee softly bent, flex your right heel, draw the navel up, and then let the torso fold. Find a little pulse of the right heel toward the ceiling. We are not opening the hip here. It's still squaring toward the ground. Pulsing 4, 3, 2, and bend your knees as you step through. Half lift, inhale, lead from your center. Exhale, fold. Big toes touching. If you have low back issues, keep some space between your feet and find your chair pose. Engaged, strong core to support a tall spine and a neutral pelvis. 3 big breaths. Good, take an inhale here. And exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, plant it, step it back. Let's lower all the way down to the mat. Elbows squeeze the ribs. Now this time, I'm going to take your arms long to your sides, palms facing up toward the ceiling, and zip up your thighs together. We're going to work with a locust pose. If you want to take a bind here, feel free to take a bind. So, on an inhale, we're going to start to lift the chest up off the mat, right? And then also lift the feet and legs up off the mat. Taking a few breaths here. Notice how your pubis starts to press into the mat. If you feel any low back crunching, you can lower your legs back down or just ease out a little bit. Let's take 3 big breaths. Hold for the inhale. And release down. Hands come under the chest. Tuck your toes. High plank. Inhale. Down dog. Exhale. All right, yogis. We're going to do this series 2 more times on the breath. You can use any versions of those little back bends we just did, or you can do chaturanga and up dog for your flow. Make it your own. From down dog, let's clear this out. Big breath in. Big breath out. All right. Inhale takes the right leg up. Exhale, low lunge, drop your left knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, half split, straighten your right leg. Inhale, standing split, float your left leg. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale, tall spine. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step back, lower half or all the way down. Any back bend on the inhale. Down dog on the exhale. Left leg up, inhale, toes flex. Exhale, low lunge, right knee down. Arms up, inhale. Half splits, exhale. Standing splits, inhale. Forward fold, exhale, bend your knees. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, take your flow, knee and down dog. We do this once more on each side. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let's do it. Right leg up, inhale. Exhale, low lunge, drop your knee. Arms up, inhale. Half splits, exhale. Standing splits, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, float out. You always have the option to skip your flows as well. From down dog, left leg up, inhale. Exhale, low lunge, right knee down. Arms up, inhale. Half splits, exhale. Standing splits, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift. Fold. Chair pose. Forward fold. Half lift. Exhale, take your flow. All right, friends. From down dog. Roll forward to a high plank, shoulders over wrists. You can always take a forearm plank here as well. Now from here, just float that right foot, flex the heel, plant it down. Float the left foot, plant it down. Right foot, down, left foot, down. We're just going to do this for 8, 6, 4, 2, high plank, and a brief child's pose. All right, take a moment. I need to towel off. I'm all sweaty. So now we're going to slow things down and work into a few bigger shapes. And then after that, we'll cool down. So we just have one more little series to build up. We're just going to do it once on each side. Take a moment though. Reground in your child's pose. Notice how your breath has changed. Pacing the depth. Notice your heartbeat. Maybe you can feel sweat forming on your skin. Focus your breath to your low back. Again, there's a lot of correlation between low back and hamstring tightness. Hanging out in a child's pose for a few minutes a day can help to release the muscles in the low back, especially if you concentrate your breath there. Good. Come back to that intention you set. Remind yourself why you showed up today. A deep breath in. Big breath out. All right, let's do this second series. From Child's Pose, find a tabletop. From tabletop, tuck your toes. And exhale to down dog. Hips go up and back. From down dog, right leg up on the inhale, toes are still flexing down. Exhale, knee to nose, pull forward. Look down and out, and plant your foot between your hands. Pause here. This time we're going to keep that left knee lifted. We're going to plug that right hip back in space, and then we're going to inhale to take our arms up overhead for a high lunge. Let's breathe here and bring a little more intention in. So if you notice that you're extending that left knee up toward the ceiling a lot, let's try softening the left knee and thinking about our pelvis. Can you find a neutral pelvis? Knitting the ribs and hips closer together. Finding a stretch through the front of the left hip. Now from here, we've got the right knee over the ankle. Let's just find a little pulse. Dipping that left knee up and down. Good. Keep pulsing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Find your high lunge. Take an inhale. Warrior 2, exhale, seal down, open up. If you need to adjust, just adjust, lengthen out. Peep that front knee. Is it over the ankle? Is your big toe pointing forward? Cool. Actively drawing the right knee open toward the pinky toe edge. Pressing through that left pinky toe. Bring some awareness to center. Keeping engaged here, neutral pelvis. Hold here for a couple breaths. Look over your front middle finger. Shoulders slide down the back. Rip the floor apart with your feet. Good. Next, inhale, straighten your right leg out. As you start to reach your right hand forward, the spine begins to lengthen. The pelvis begins to bump back, slightly wraps forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When you can't go forward anymore, right arm goes wherever it lands naturally, right? Maybe it's the shin or the thigh or the ankle. Rib cage rolls open, left arm goes up, shoulder plugs down. Take a few breaths here. Keep pressing through both feet. Lift your right rib cage just a centimeter more. Bring some awareness to center. Good. From triangle, inhale to come back up. Turn all 10 toes to point forward. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Hands come to the hips. So, pelvis, what's it do? How do we move it? What controls it? Again, toes slightly in, heels slightly out, wide stance. With your hands on your hips, start to hinge forward. Good. Notice what's happening. The pelvis is tilting, right? Back is flat, hip points are pointing toward the floor. What happens if we try to get our hip points tilting behind us, right? Fold further, head hangs, then drop your hands down. Now, first thing I want you to do in your wide-legged fold today is consider where your weight is located. If all of your weight is pressing back into your heels, what is that doing? It's putting pressure on your hamstrings, right? So what happens if you allow that weight to draw a little bit more forward to your toes or the balls of your feet? Then from there, what happens if you draw that navel upward? Did you notice how that tilted the sit bones up? Then exhale to fold further. Now you can hang out right here. I'm going to give you a few breaths to go where you need to. Maybe grab elbows, easing further, grab elbows here to give gravity a little bit of assistance, taking you deeper. Maybe you grab your ankles, giving yourself a little pull towards your thighs. Maybe you turn the knees and toes out, coming into a little bit of a goddess. Just a few breaths, go where you need to go. Maybe a forearm stand or a headstand. Again, this is your time. You know what you need. You know what you're working with. So just play. to make your way to neutral here. So just take the hands under the shoulders, spread the fingers wide. Inhale to find a long flat back. Shoulders sliding down the back, strong core. From here, look to your right. Start to crawl over to the right as you turn into a low lunge. We've got the right knee over the ankle, the big toe forward, hands framing the foot. So we're going to come straight from our low lunge into a warrior three. That's a big transition. It requires a lot of effort. So how do we get there, right? First, bring awareness to center, right? And then think about where the weight's got to go. It's got to go into the right foot, right? So we're going to start to crawl those hands forward, shift the weight to the right foot, and we're going to lift with that left heel. Flexing the heel, long line of energy, heel, hip, head, strong center. If you fall, try to just land back in your high lunge. It's there to catch you, okay? Maybe the hands come to the hips. Good. Flexing the heel. Maybe you lose your balance. It's not a big deal. From your warrior three, that right knee still needs to be softly bent. Inhale your left knee up to your chest, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale right back to that warrior three. Start to hinge forward, punch your heel back. Inhale, stand up. Warrior three, exhale. Inhale up. Warrior three, exhale. One more. Good. Inhale up. Mountain pose, exhale. Ooh, we'll give a little wiggle out. So again, just working a little bit of drills to strengthen today. From here, let's, we've done enough chair. Let's just draw our right knee up to float, one-legged Tadasana. Ankle under knee, knee in line with hip, foot flexed. Now take your right hand around your right shin. Make sure that right hip is still plugged down. You can stay right here. This is a variation of hand to toe, right? Or you can take a peace finger grip around that right big toe. You can hang out here, or you can start to extend your leg in front of you, right? Try to keep the core strong and the pelvis centered, right? The knee can be partially extended, or again, you can stay right here, whatever's gonna work best for your body today. Like I said, my right side is a little bit wacky today, so I'm gonna stay right here. This is called big toe A. All different flavors, same shape. Good. From here, we're going to start to open to big toe B. That means we're going to open out to the right side. Now again, you can be gripped, working to extend the leg, right? I'm not there right now. And that's okay. Take the flavor that you need and try to be okay with where you are. Good. Carefully come through center, release your grip, and extend your leg to float forward, toes flexing up, hips still aligned, breathe here. This is big toe C, and oh my God, it is so much harder than it should be. Gravity's gonna start to fight you, but you're gonna start to fight it back. Lifting as high as you can without compromising your spine. Hold for the inhale. And exhale, plant that foot. Ooh, give it a little wiggle out. Yeah. All right. Coming back to that mountain pose. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, forward, fold, hold here. So I've got some space between my feet, right? I'm gonna take a peace finger grip around both big toes. I'm gonna bend my knees generously, pull my belly up and in, and let my torso fold over my thighs. Then I'm going to use that grip to draw myself down. Notice how the elbows are pulling down. From there, make sure the shoulders are still plugged down the back instead of up toward the ears. Breathe here. What is the pelvis doing? Knees bent as much as you need them to be. Good, and exhale, release. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, take your flow. We're gonna meet in down dog. And we'll do this all on our second side. Then we're gonna cool things down. How are we doing? Let's see. Cool. All right. From down dog, clear it out however you need to. Let's do the left leg. Inhale, left leg up, toes flex down. Exhale, knee to nose, look out, and control your landing. Low lunge. Plug that left hip back, look forward, long spine, and then inhale up, high lunge. Pause. Make sure the pelvis is squaring forward. Soften that right knee. Knit the ribs and hips in. Finding a more intentional stretch along the front of the right thigh. Then we find that little pulse. Just dipping that right knee down and then back up. Good. Pulsing 4, 3, 2. Good. Find stillness. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. Open up, lengthen out if you need to. Take up as much space on your mat as you need to. It's all yours. Knee over ankle, actively opening the left knee, pressing through the right pinky toe. Notice how much the thighs are working. Engaged through center. Energize. Look over your front middle finger. Rip the floor apart with your feet. Good. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Pause. As you reach forward, allow the pelvis, that mobility, to press back and slightly wrap forward. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. When you can't go forward anymore, left arm comes where it lands naturally. Rib cage rolls open. Top arm up, shoulder in the socket. Take a few breaths. Maybe lift that left rib cage up a little bit. Bring some awareness to your core. Keep pressing through both feet. Good. Inhale, come back up. Turn all 10 toes forward. Toes slightly in, heels slightly out. Hands at the hips. As we hinge from the hips, notice how the pelvis begins to tilt downward. If we want to get our torso toward our thighs, it's got to start to tilt backward as well, right? Head hangs, weight shifts slightly forward to the balls of the feet or the toes, and then take a few breaths. Maybe try something different this round. Good. Couple breaths. And come to neutral here, hands under the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, navel in, long flat back, shoulders away from the ears. Look to the left. Find your low lunge to the left side, pivoting to the ball of the right foot. I'm going to scoot myself back a little bit. So we're coming straight to our warrior 3. How do we get there? Where is the weight going? What's happening? It's a lifting action, right? So the weight's going to start to go forward. Our belly's got to work here to help lift us up. And then that right heel helps to spring us up. So we crawl forward and we lift with that right heel, kicking ourselves off the mat. Navel drawing in, flex your right foot. Again, if you fall, high lunge is there to catch you, okay? And then from there, you just take your time to come back in. Those toes are still flexing down. That left knee still has a soft bend in it. kick through that heel. Good. Inhale, draw the right knee to your chest. One-legged Tadasana, foot flexes. Exhale, warrior three. Start to extend that leg back, hard forward. Ooh, lose your balance. Inhale, take it up. Warrior three, exhale. Inhale up. Warrior three. Two more. Last one. Inhale up. Woo, plant your foot, exhale, yeah. Wiggle it out. Maybe it's a little tootsie roll. Just give your knees a little bit of love. All right, friends, just a couple more shapes. And then we're gonna cool down. Okay, so we did all that. Come to our mountain pose. Navel in, knees soft, shoulders back, right? Inhale the left knee up this time, foot flexes. Again, you can grip around the shin, or you can take a peace finger grip, working to extend your leg forward. Where are you at today? If you're doing that extension forward, you can always keep it partially bent. Just make sure that your hips are still aligned and that you're not collapsing your spine for the sake of making the bigger shape. These are all different flavors of the same shape. Now from here, big toe B, start to open out to the left. Again, it can be that peace finger grip and a fully extended or partially extended leg, or you can hold right here. Good. Inhale, slowly come through center. Release and extend your leg, big toe C, toes flexing up. Still engage through center. Make sure you're not compromising your spine, reaching into a big counterbalance. Just lift as high as it'll go today. If you're riding the struggle bus, you're not alone. You might be like, oh my God, why is this so hard? Because hamstrings, y'all. That's why. God. Every inhale, return it to its limit. Maybe the limit does not exist. Just a couple breaths. Good. Inhale a little higher. Ah, let it go, exhale. Woo. Let it go, shake it out. Ah, good, that's over now. All right, mountain pose. Feet about hip distance apart today. Soften the knees, navel in. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take your hands to your hips. With the knees generously bent, inhale to start to hinge forward. Letting the torso fold over the thighs. Two options here. You can take a second round of that big toe grip, or you can hook around your knees, grabbing opposite elbows. For that, I like to bring my feet a little closer together. Bend the knees a lot, and then grab for opposite elbows behind the knees. So two different options, or maybe you wish to work on straightening your legs here. How do we get there? Well, first, we shift the weight a little bit more to the toes. Okay. Then we draw the navel upward. Notice how that lifts the pelvis and slightly straightens the legs. What? I know, it's crazy. Release the neck, release the jaw. Big hug. On your exhale, release whatever grip you have. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, step it back, flow it out, or skip it. We meet in downward facing dog. Beautiful yogis. From down dog. Inhale, high plank, roll forward. Exhale, lower down to the mat. We're going to take a second round of that locust pose we did earlier. So, palms facing up, chin on the mat. Again, you can take a bind here if you're creating a little shoulder opener, but I'm just not today. So, we're gonna zip the thighs up. We're gonna start by lifting the heart off the mat, right? The rib cage starts to come off the mat. Palms facing, yeah, let's do up. And then zip up, lift the thighs as well. Notice how that makes everything come higher, pointing through the toes. Hold here for a few breaths. Keep lifting. Good, big inhale. And exhale, lower down. Woo, take one ear to the mat. You can bend into your legs if you'd like in windshield wiper. Beautiful. Just give yourself a moment to rest. And take your chin to the mat, hands under the chest, press back to take a seat. Just a couple cool down shapes and then we'll close out. Okay, starting with Baddha Konasana. Feet together, knees wide, like a butterfly. Good. Start nice and tall and proud, both sit bones on the mat. Take a big inhale, and then exhale to fold forward. You have a few options here. The first one is to do absolutely nothing with your arms, right? Creating a more passive stretch, working more with your natural mobility than trying to kind of force yourself into flexibility. The second option is to give yourself that little bit of an assist, right? Grabbing the toes and pressing elbows into or around the shins. It's going to give you a little assistance to go deeper. The third option, if, say, your rib cage is already on your feet, you can just lift the knees up slightly and slide your arms underneath your legs, forearms and palms flat on the mat. So just a few different options for this shape. That's how different our practice can look, y'all. Person to person, day to day. I'm lagging a lot. So from Baddha Konasana, inhale to just start to walk your way back up. Now let's extend the legs long and wide. V for victory. Only go as far out as feels good. Both sit bones down. I want you to know this is one of my least favorite shapes. It's not accessible for my body. It's taken me a long time to even be willing to work on it, okay? But, right, that's the places we need to go, the places we avoid. So, something that's helped me go even just a little bit into this pose is to start tall and proud, strong core and long spine, palms facing in. I like to think that I've got a present and I'm trying to give it to someone, but they're 6 feet away from me, okay? Inhale, get nice and tall. Exhale to reach that gift forward. Oh no, you didn't quite reach them. Hold for an inhale. Get tall, lengthen. Exhale, reach. One more time. And you can hold right there, or you can take your fingers down, or you can keep working with that breath. Always the option as well to grip your toes here to, again, give yourself a little bit of an assist into this. This is as far as I go. This is not a supernatural shape for me. Full breath cycle here. Good. Use your hands to assist yourself back up. Carefully draw your knees together. Bring them to your chest. Just give a little squeeze. Good. And now we're going to extend the legs long but together. So zip the thighs up. Toes flex up. Find your sit bones on the ground. On the inhale, arms go up. Draw out of the low rib cage. And then exhale to reach for your toes. If you can't reach your toes, just bend your knees until you can. Because why? A bend in the knees is your friend. Then from here, we're going to work with the breath. Thinking about what? The belly and the pelvis. The inhale draws the navel in, lengthens up the spine, lifts the heart. On the exhale, you might notice you're able to fold a little further. What happens if you breathe just like that over, say, 5 to 10 breath cycles? Navel in, lengthen, lift, exhale, fold. can concentrate some breath to the low back here. Full breath cycle. Inhale to slowly roll up. Exhale to carefully lay down on your back. Once you are there, knees come to the chest, give a little squeeze. Take a little rock left and right. Let's take a happy baby before we close out. Grip the soles of your feet. Feet flex to hands, knees to armpits. Find some play, y'all. Side to side. Maybe you play with straightening your legs, pulling your toes overhead. If you're craving a plow pose or a shoulder stand, maybe you go there today. I encourage you to flutter your lips out. Releasing the tension in the face. Give yourself permission to just not take yourself too seriously, okay? You're in a happy baby. It's not that serious. And then from your happy baby, find stillness. Draw your feet together. Draw your knees together. Forearms around the shins, forehead into meet the knees. Give yourself a big tight squeeze. Close your eyes here as you show yourself some gratitude for making it to your mat today. Take your biggest inhale of your day. Squeeze tight. And exhale, Shavasana. This is the good stuff, y'all. Don't skip it. I know it's tempting, but this is so necessary. So just let everything go. Return to your natural breath. Let your body be still and heavy. I'm going to rest with you here for a few breaths, and then I will close us out together. But feel free to rest as long as you need to. And again, please don't skip this time if you have it. Again, my friends, I want you to take as long of a rest as you need. If you are ready to seal practice and go about your day, begin to draw your focus back in, inviting some little wiggles into the fingers and toes. Allow those to grow into circles of the wrists and ankles. And then find a big good morning stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Fingers and toes pull away from each other actively. Maybe the small of your back even lifts up as you stretch everything out. On the exhale, slowly roll on to one side. Try to keep your eyes closed and take your time to press up to a seat. Find a nice nice tall spine. Inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, chin toward chest. Now, yogis, I encourage you to simply sit for a moment with this connection to your breath, to your body, and to that intention you set. Call it back in. Remind yourself why you showed up today, why you show up every day. What would you like to carry with you off of your mat, and what would you like to leave behind? Let's take a deep breath in. Big open mouth. Now, as always, the light in me honors, acknowledges, and loves that same light in you. Namaste. Beautiful work, friends. Thank you so much for being here, for flowing with me. Again, my name is Anna MC. If you have any questions about what we worked on today, why we do what we do, what we've been doing, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at the.anna.mc. Please drink lots of water, stay rested, and be well. And if you're able to, hit up blackswanyoga.com/live to donate. Have a beautiful day, friends.